What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the 2023 War of the Visions FFBE Championships. This is a global PvP circuit where you play in regional qualifiers to try to make it into Worlds so that you can win some incredible prizes. And the cool thing about it is that all of these tournaments are going to be streamed by Square Enix, so they're going to be really fun to watch together, but also for myself, I'll be able to kind of break them down and talk about them in videos, maybe do some casting of my own. In general, everyone should be excited for this level of support from the game, and it means that Gumi is invested in the game, and specifically in global, so that's all good to see. Now, you may be wondering, what does this mean for me? How can I participate? When is my regional qualifier? And what are the rules for the tournament? And by the way, there are both auto and manual tournaments for every single region, plus a last chance qualifier. So we're going to break down all the rules, all the things that you need to know in order to participate in the 2023 War of the Visions FFBE Global Championship. All right, let's start by going over some of the details about this championship circuit. And this is coming from a PDF that is on the official Discord, which we will talk about how to access, how to get on and see all the, the greater details of this. But first, let's kind of go and do an overview of the whole entire thing. So this is the World Championship 2023, and there's going to be a bunch of ways to get there. So we can see that there are 8 tournaments here, and they are divided by regions. So there's the Asia and Oceania region, there is the European region, and then there's the North and South American regions. So we can see that the first 2 tournaments, there's a red and there's a blue label there. That is for auto and then manual. So the first 2 tournaments are going to be the Asia and Oceania auto and manual tournaments, followed by the European auto and manual tournaments, and then the North American and South American auto and manual tournaments. There will then be 2 last chance qualifiers, and these ones will be open to literally anybody from those regions, and there will be an auto one and there will be a manual one. So there's still opportunities, if you can't make your region's qualifier, to still then get in and play and maybe hopefully get into the championship. They are doing these tournaments in a very specific order. So you can see if you are in the Asia or Oceania region, you have 2 tournaments coming up quite quickly. You can already register for the Leonis Cup, which is on April 15th. And then next will be the European. Now, of course, we'll have different units coming out in vision cards, etc. throughout all of these tournaments, and there's very specific rule sets for the tournaments, which we will get into momentarily. Continuing on, we can see that they list here for the auto tournaments, there's going to be 32 people that get in, and then for the manual tournaments, only 8 contestants each, which is a small amount, but it kind of makes sense because manual matches are a little bit longer, and it's harder to kind of run a tournament, but it's still a pretty small amount. It's going to be tough if you don't make that, and manual's your jam. Hopefully, I'm hoping for you that you are able to get in there if that's what you'd like, because it's kind of interesting that every single participant, so all 40 from each region, and then the last chance qualifiers, you get a t-shirt. If you sign up and you get in, you will get a t-shirt, which is very cool. And there's more prizes that scale, depending on how you actually do. So let's take a look at those right now. If you are in the regional qualifiers, you will get a place in the world finals if you come first or second in auto, and only the first place person from the manual tournaments will go to the worlds. But anyway, if you come in first place, you're getting a trophy, an in-game title, a Discord title, and you will get interviewed by the people running the tournament, probably Justin and Oran J, which is pretty sweet. And then when we look at second place and this is specifically for auto, they get a world's place, but you still get that in-game title, you still get a Discord title, and you still get an interview. You just don't get a trophy. That's the only other thing. And like I said already, all contestants in all regional qualifiers get a t-shirt, which is really, really neat. Then when we look at Worlds, we can see that there are a lot more prizes. So first place gets the trophy. There's a quest with their party that you have to fight them. There's going to be an in-game title, a Discord title, and 100,000 FFVIIR. Woo! That's a lot of FFVIIR. You get interviewed, etc., etc. The runner-up also gets a trophy. You get an in-game title, the Discord title, 50,000 FFVIIR, and then in third place, you get 25,000 FFVIIR, but you don't get interviewed. Oh man, that third place is going to be tough. Actually, even tougher than that, it's going to be fourth place because you have to win third, right? So that's going to be real tough if you finish just outside of this and you get literally zilch. But you know what? You're at Worlds. That's kind of an achievement in its own. That's very, very cool. There are some very specific criteria if you'd like to sign up for these, and you can pause and kind of read through those if you like. I think what's kind of important to point out here is that you just have to be able to participate in all the aspects of the tournament, and that also includes streaming and etc. So this is all here for you to read, and I will post links to everything as well so that you can go into the depth and figure out if this is something that you want to do. But one thing that you have to kind of like is non-negotiable is the timing of all of this. You have to be available for these things, and that is the reason why I probably won't sign up, because I make videos and play games when I have spare time. It's never at set times, and I just can't commit to things like this. But if I figure out that I can commit, then I probably will sign up for, well, I don't know, maybe I'll sign up. I mean, it would be pretty fun to be involved in the stream in some way. I don't know, if Orange needs a sidekick, or maybe they want like an on-location reporter. They can just get me like live streaming from like my street outside, and it's like I'm on location doing little bits. I don't know. They should totally include me though, please. Okay, but this is what's actually interesting, which are the tournament specific rules. So let's go through these. The auto tournaments are going to be on 1.5 speed or 2 times before the start of the live stream. And there is a specific map already picked for the Leonis Cup. It's the Leonis Castle Courtyard. There's also a unit cost of 240, which means you can use any Esper, any vision card, etc., but you have to keep your unit cost under 240. That means that you could use an SR and maybe 2 100 costs, or maybe a couple of 90 costs and a 60 cost, or a 100 and a 90 and a 50, which is actually pretty reasonable. This is a really good total. It really opens up a lot of team building, but to make sure that people can't just bring 3 100 cost units. So I do like that structure. You can test your initial placing on the map, and there's rules about how that would actually be applied, and you can change your formations before any battle. You can just pick whatever units you want. So if you've practiced multiple teams, you have an idea of what someone else is playing, then you can try to outsmart them, unless they also change their formation. But otherwise, they just need you to be playing. And they do mention that the emulator and PC are not officially supported, so just make sure that you have something that works for you, and tell them you're playing on your phone or something if you're playing on an emulator. But a phone or tablet would be more stable than an emulator for this type of thing anyway, so I would probably recommend you do that as well. What's interesting here, it's best of 3 in round 1 to quarterfinals, semifinals, but then the final is best of 5, and it's a single elimination tournament, which means as soon as you lose, you're gone. Get out of here, go home. Oh, you're probably already home because it's a digital tournament. Okay, and then for the manual tournament, which is the one that I'm really excited for, is obviously auto is off. It's 1.5 speed, 2 times for the live stream, and the cost limit is 230. But you must include an MR or lower rarity in the party, which is very, very interesting. This seems like a pretty reasonable cost. It's a lot easier than 230. Or sorry, 220, I should say. But you also, because you're using an MR rarity anyway, you're going to be able to fit in multiple UR units, no problem at all. So that's something to be mentioned there. They also have the same thing about initial placements allowed, etc., and that you can change your formation, your units, or whatever until you actually set up the match. So that's all very good. And then what's kind of interesting here is that it's best of 3 in round 1 to quarterfinal, semifinal, of course, just like the auto tournament. But then it's best of 5 in the finals, which is a very, very long final, because manual matches can take a little bit of time, which isn't a problem. That's part of what's so great about manual PvP, is that you have this time to try to outsmart your opponent and set things up and kind of examine the field. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting for the players. I just almost feel like it should have been best of 3 in the final as well, because that is still better than just one match where, you get bamboozled maybe and then it's over. Like, that wouldn't be so fair. But I don't know, I'm curious what you guys think. If you think best of 5 is the respect that a final deserves, but maybe from the stream side they might notice some complications here. But either way, this is cool to see. It's, of course, it's also single elimination, so once you've lost, you're gone. So what's next? You're super interested, you want to participate. Well, guess what? You can find out more by joining the Discord server, which there is a QR code on the screen right now. This is from the anniversary live stream. So that is what we're going to look at next. All right, so here we are on the official PvP Discord. And by the way, I've already made an error in this video. I realized that people can sign up for literally any region tournament. As long as you can speak the required language or one of the required languages for that tournament, you can sign up and you can play and hopefully qualify for Worlds. So you can sign up for the Leonis Cup if you speak the required languages, which is pretty cool. So that's on right now. Sign up right after this if you want a chance to be picked and to get a t-shirt. Their time zones might be applicable. Like if you can make the Leonis Cup, but it's super late at night, maybe that's not going to work for you, but just something to consider. So you're on the official Discord and there's a couple of places that you can go to find out more information. So there's a discussion channel, which you can go and talk to people and ask questions. But what's more important here is there's an FAQ section and it's really long. This is 40 FAQs and we can go all the way to the top, and it has a bunch of information about every single event, like very specific requests or questions that people have, like how do you register, how can you apply for these things, can you apply for both auto and manual. And it actually says when you apply you have to choose a preference and you will just make sure that they sign you up for the one that you actually prefer to be in. And there's a bunch of things about entry requirements, technical requirements, how many contestants, etc. If you want to know how to sign up on Battlefy, all of that is here in the FAQ. There's also a rules channel, which has that PDF that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And there are more specific rules here about the actual Leonis Cup specifically. So lots of information to kind of look through if you are interested in participating in this tournament. Okay, that is going to be it for this video, but I'm very, very curious if any of you are going to be signing up for these championships. And do you think I should sign up for these championships? Or maybe I should be involved in some way with them officially. That would be pretty cool, I'll try to make myself available. That's kind of funny. Like in this video, I go over how unavailable I am, and then I'm like, hey, yeah, put me on the team, coach. That's okay though. I think if I am available, that I might actually restream these, which is allowed. So I could, put it on mute, stream it, and kind of cast them myself and talk about them. We could watch them together. But another thing I was thinking of was actually, afterwards picking out matches that were really cool and casting those on my channel. I think that would be really fun content to do for myself. So I personally might do that, especially for manual games, but maybe I would edit those or something to make them more appetizing for, the average player that might not want to watch a full manual match. But we'll kind of see how that all goes. Either way, let me know what you think about this. I think it's only good news here. And if you're going to be winning that 100,000 Visior, just remember who told you all about this information. I know you can't share Visior with me, but you should be able to.